we have come prepared, and nothing else. Best of luck, I would say. May the best team win.
Yes, may the best team win. Okay, may I ask Arja to please share a message to your opponent team?
Well, we've come prepared too, and we have no hard feelings. So if you win, if we win, it doesn't really matter. So, yeah.
Yes, of course. I think it's a big achievement for both the teams, all six of you all, to reach here, beating 120 participants, and you're like here to the finals. I'm sure this indeed is a very proud moment, not only for you all, your teachers, your principals and the schools, but of course for us as audience to see you all debate with such beautiful confidence. Right? Okay, so we'll be beginning in another about 10 minutes. Till then, just calm your mind, bring in all the confidence that you have and give it your best. Okay, we have Shishir sir here. Good morning, sir. It's an honor to have you. Sir, you're on mute. If you can unmute yourself.
Good morning, and thank you for inviting me. And really fascinated to even listen to this conversation that's happening. It's such a different learning for us as well. Anil Swarup ji, good morning as well.
Good morning. How are you, Shishir?
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And wishing all of you all the very best. It's quite a, I would say, slightly tilted towards the west of India, the finalists. Gujarat dominating. So wish you the very best and keep calm and look happy.
Certainly, I think some of you do look a bit nervous. Don't worry about it at all. This is just a small milestone in your long journey. So just a stepping stone. And since you're about to start this debate soon, I must briefly narrate to you my own experience with it. In one of the debates, I just forgot what I had to speak and I was tongue-tied and I had to walk out. And then in another one, I had gone in a music competition. I was booed out, and next day was my debating competition. So it happens. It happens with everyone. Next day, of course, debating competition, I went on to win it. But it happens in life. Successes and failures, you'll gradually understand them. Right now, you're very passionate about winning everything that comes in your hand. I think one of you said very beautifully that it's a question of doing well. That's it. Whether you win or not, it's not in your hands in any case. You can do the best that you can, and that will make you very relaxed. You do what the best you can, let the other chap do or get better of you, whatever it is. So feel relaxed, and smile is the best thing that you can do to your face. Keep smiling.
Very interesting. The fact is that you're out here, you're the bravest in the country right now. The most difficult thing in the world is public speaking. It's far more feared than death. If there was a priest who was asked to say his prayers to somebody who had passed away, and the priest said, "I'd rather be dead than say these prayers because I'm so scared." Even Mr. Bachchan, when he says his dialogues, has a few palpitations when he goes on stage, and he's such a master actor. So you guys being out here says a lot. And just one anecdote, I spent some time in television journalism many years ago, and when I did my first live, and y'all are like doing lives all the time, when I did my first live, my then boss, Pranoy Roy, he asked me a question, and I was supposed to be given 5 minutes to ask the question, have the answers, and do an analysis of the budget. And Pranoy Roy asked me, "So Shishir, what is your take?" And I spoke for 5 minutes and forgot that there was a guest standing next to me. I did not even introduce him. I was so nervous. And about a few million people were watching me. So, you're doing fantastic, and we are very proud of you. Take care.
You all look bright and sprightly. We have got to give you marks on your get-up and everything. I don't know, how do you differentiate? All of you look very bright and sprightly. So make that task difficult for us as you speak as well.
Yes, of course, sir. I'm sure they have been giving a tough time even to the judges, not only for the semi-finals, but from the qualifying round itself. The judges have been facing a lot of challenge while they have to judge these amazing participants. But I'm sure you're going to have a great time here with two best teams debating and giving their best. We have Raghav sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Maitri, and good morning, dear students, and of course, a very, very warm welcome and thank you to both Anil ji and Shishir ji for being here. It's our pleasure to have you here. I know the kids, I've been riling them up over the past few days that, the judges for the finals are two very, very strict disciplinarians and you have to be very scared of them. Just in a lighter note, of course. But they're really, really looking forward to getting some valuable insights and inputs from luminaries such as you, sir, both of y'all. And I know to the kids, y'all have made it to the finals, so keep your head high. Understand that there's no team that's going to be a loser. Of course, you should debate with fierceness, but do it with dignity. That's the most important. I've always told you, be fierce, but be dignified about your debate and discourse. To all the children, stay confident, take a deep breath. Today is the grand finale. I know weeks have gone and y'all have been practicing, but it all culminates till today's final. So let's see how that goes. Wish you all the best. Stay confident. You're already very good debaters. I don't need to give you any more tips. I'll hand it over back to the moderator.
All right, thank you so much, sir. I'm sure your words have really worked. Okay, so
Maitri, any tips for us as judges? Would you like to give us any set of instructions?
Sorry?
No, I'm asking the moderator whether we need to follow any instructions, the do's and don'ts for us.
So as in terms of instructions, nothing like that. We just need to follow the rubrics for scoring our participants.
Perfectly fine. Okay, thank you.
Shishirji can't believe that we are in a school and we aren't giving any instructions.
I know. I'm just tightening my shoelaces. Also, I chipped my. I polished my nails also this morning so that somebody shouldn't catch me on the wrong.
How can you be in a school without any instructions? No.
Absolutely, Raghav. Good to see you.
Raghav, I hope these children have heard you speaking, not this way, making a presentation, because I think, I'm sorry for embarrassing you a bit, one of the finest speakers that I've come across. I attend, I don't know how many conferences, now of course webinars, but I hope and wish that you also make a presentation to them. Because apart from what they will be doing today, there's a lot to learn from the manner in which you go about making maybe this team may benefit from you through a brief speech or a presentation at some point in time, if not today.
Thank you so much. So that's very, very kind of you. Humbled.
All right, thank you.
I'm here. I'm sorry to say that again, but I wouldn't have been here but for you actually. When I heard that it's your school, I said I must go and.
So very, very kind. Really humbled. And thank you. It's really an honor to have you.
It's always a pleasure interacting with bright young kids. They are the future of this country. You all are, and you look so. I envy you all. You look so good. I remember during my times, I used to be damn nervous. I can't see any, maybe you're hiding it very well or you're masquerading it. Or maybe you're wearing those masks which I can't see. I can't see your nervousness. So that's brilliant.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. With this, let's begin with the finals. Both the teams all set? All the participants? Yes? All right, and now we begin. Namaste, good morning, and Podar Pranam to everyone. I am Miss Maitri Mehta, and it's my absolute honor to moderate today's debate on behalf of Podar family. I welcome you all to the finals of the National Inter-School Debate Competition. It has been a sight for us to watch the process of filtering the two best teams out of 40. Congratulations to both the teams who've made it through. Participants, I'm sure this has been a very hectic week for all of you, not wanting to give yourself even a single chance to be less prepared. All your hard work over the months and those sleepless nights have proved its worth when you see yourself competing in the finals of the National Inter-School Debate Competition. We are all so thrilled to see these excited faces all set to prove themselves just one more time and grab the first place. Knowing that the topic for today is so interesting, we can't wait to hear the youth's perspective on the same. So without any delay, let's dive in straight into the competition. Today with us, we have the principals of the participating teams. Respected Principal Ma'am, Ms. Sujata Tandon, Principal of Udgam School for Children, Ahmedabad, and respected Principal Ma'am, Mrs. Suprabha Menon, Principal of Navrachana School, Sama, Vadodara. We also have Director of School from Udgam School of Children, Ms. Radhika Iyer. We welcome you. We also welcome other dignitaries from the participating schools present with us today. Now, let's give a warm welcome to our honorable judges. Let me take this opportunity to introduce them to you. Our first judge is Mr. Shishir Joshi, founder and chief executive of Project Mumbai, a not-for-profit. In July 2020, the United Nations awarded Shishir Joshi-led Project Mumbai with the Social Development Goal Solidarity Action Award 2020 in recognition of the humanitarian contribution to the fight against COVID-19. Only 50 organizations have been bestowed with this honor globally, Project Mumbai being one of them. Project Mumbai is a model of public-private people partnership. Over the last 200 days, since March 2020, Project Mumbai has been at the forefront of the COVID-19 fight in Mumbai and this region. Vanity vans for women cops equipped with sanitary pads and soaps, making the largest donation of PPE kits in the country. 2 lakh plus for Mumbai's doctor and 10,000 for Mumbai police. Launching and driving a dashboard for non-COVID hospitals for the benefit of Mumbaikars were just some of the initiatives in the first 45 days. In October 2019, championing the cause of a healthier environment, Shishir Joshi sir led over 1,25,000 people to donate plastic, which was recycled into benches and other amenities for Mumbai's public gardens. This initiative, titled the Mumbai Plastic Recyclathon, now a monthly drive, has been featured in the Limca Book of Records 2020 edition as one of the largest people-supported plastic recycling movement. He's also the recipient of I Volunteer Hero of the Year for 2018-19. Thank you so much, sir, for being here, and it's our pleasure to have you with us today to judge this finals. I now please request Shishir sir to kindly say a few words of motivation to our participants.
I'm just quite excited and delighted to be here. Happy that I've been invited, and this opportunity is very rare for me as well. And I don't think I should be speaking. I want to listen, and I want to get inspired today. Thank you very much. What I do is because there are people like you here. Thank you again, and wish you the very best.
Thank you so much for your kind words. Our second judge for today is Mr. Anil Swarup. He earned his master's degree in political science from Allahabad University in 1978, where he was also awarded the Chancellor's Gold Medal for being the best all-round student. Before joining the IAS in 1981, he served the Indian Police Service for a year. He won the Director's Gold Medal for the Best Officer Trainee at the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration amongst the officers of his batch. As a strategic thinker and an innovative leader, he won several awards and nominations, the prominent ones being nominated as one of the policy change agent by the Economic Times during the years 2010, 2012, 2015, and 16. He was selected as one of the 35 action heroes in India Today's 35th annual edition. He's the founder chairperson of Nexus of Good, an initiative towards recognizing positive action and providing inspiration to the society at the large to replicate them. He's also the author of the bestseller, Not Just a Civil Servant. I humbly request Anil sir to kindly say a few words of motivation to our participants. Sir, can you please unmute?
Thank you very much for those kind words. It's always a pleasure to be amidst children. So much passion, so much energy, so much to learn from them, so much positivity. And I look forward to the speeches today, the debate today, and take a lot from there. I don't think I should be speaking today much. I should be more of a Kansen than a Tansen. So I look forward to these Tans of the new tanzans of this new world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We're all looking for a very fierce and a confident debate, though. We welcome you and thank you for accepting to judge this competition. I now take an opportunity to welcome our chairman, Sir Mr. Raghav Podar, a path-breaking educationist well known for creating optimal learning environments. Having studied the education systems of Finland, Singapore, UK, and Australia, he has been vested into upgrading the quality of schooling in India. His trainings, presentations, and workshops on aligning digital transformation with 21st century skills are keenly sought across schools, conferences, and ministries in Australia, Spain, and UK. He personally supports the Beti Padhao Beti Bachao Yojana as well as Tata Memorial's Impact Foundation. He has been recently at the forefront of relief efforts for many COVID-affected areas. He was bestowed with the Glory of India Award by the Deputy Prime Minister of Thailand in 2016. Thank you so much, sir. And I now request, sir, to please say a few words and to declare the debate open.
Thank you, Maitri, for that very kind introduction. Good morning, everyone. And to the dear students, I hope you all are feeling confident, you all have rested well. Of course, there will be some butterflies in your stomach, but that's natural. Turn those butterflies, that nervous energy, into positive energy. You all are all very good speakers. I've heard you all over the last 5-6 days. The purpose of a debate competition like this is essentially to build the 21st century skills that are so often spoken about. And what are those? Communication, critical thinking, teamwork, collaboration. These are the skills that we want you to develop. And it's very clear that most of you are already very proficient, much beyond your years, even though you're hardly 14, 15, maybe 16. The way y'all have been debating is far more mature than what a mid-teenager would be debating like. But what's more important is, as you move on into your adult lives, how are you going to use these talents? How are you going to use these skills of yours to better society? And for that, I think you have two of the best role models in the country here as your judges. They are the ones who are making a difference to the society. Both Shishir Ji and Anil Sir have made so much of a difference in their active roles when they were, whether in government or in journalism, but even now post that. So if you need inspiration, you have two of the most inspiring luminaries in front of you as judges. And even after this, I'm sure if you send them a message on Twitter or whatever social media, I'm sure they'll be there to help you further hone your skills and to make a difference in the societies and to those around you. All the best. Use your talents, use your oratory skills and communication to better this world. I hereby declare the finals open.
Thank you so much, sir. Now is the turn to introduce our debating warriors. I request the participating team members to please introduce themselves. I would first request the team who will be speaking for the motion to introduce themselves, starting from Arja.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Arja Kakkad from Udgam School for Children, Ahmedabad, and I study in the 10th grade.
Moving on to Kavya.
Good morning, one and all present here. I am Kavya Parekh, studying in grade 8, Udgam School for Children, Ahmedabad.
Right, moving on to Chahat.
A very good morning to everyone present here. My name is Chahat Verma from Udgam School for Children, Ahmedabad. I study in the 10th grade.
Thank you so much. Now I request the team who will be speaking against the motion to please introduce themselves, starting with Janya.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Janya Shah. Me and my team are going to speak against the motion.
Thank you. Moving on to Naman.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Naman Shah. I will be speaking against the motion. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Moving on to Ananya.
A very good morning to all. I am Ananya Pandya, a student of grade 10th from Navrachana School, Sama.
Thank you so much. I warmly welcome you all on behalf of Podar family. The topic for this round is girl empowerment has turned into boy hate. Before we start, I request everyone to please keep their mics on mute. I also request all the participants to keep their mics on mute except for the ones whose turn it is to speak. Just a reminder to all the participants that you have to keep your cameras on throughout the session of your debate. I'm sure that you must have gone through the rules of the debate. Let me recap them once more for you. The debate will begin with an opening statement from both the teams. Next, Team 1 will put forth their argument, followed by Team 2, and so on. No two speakers from the same team may speak consecutively. Please make a note of that. After a speaker from Team A puts forth their point, it needs to be rebutted by a speaker from Team B, and so on. Each rebuttal can extend for 1 minute or less, and in no case should it be over 1 minute. All three members of a team should get roughly equal speaking opportunity. If only one or two speakers dominate the debate, that team will stand to lose points in the scoring sheet. The debate will conclude with the closing statements from both the teams. So now with this, let me invite the first team who will be speaking for the motion to please give their opening statements. All the best.
Helen Zahavi had said, she could never take an eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. She wants an eye for a tooth and a life for an eye. A very good morning to Honorable Chairperson, judges, respected principals, teachers, and my dear friends. Today I, Arja Kakkar, along with my team, will express our views for the motion, girl empowerment has turned into boy hate. What is feminism? Feminism began as a form of resistance against the assigned gender roles. However, nowadays, feminism is being misinterpreted to mean that women should demean men, consider the female gender superior, and blame all men for crimes they didn't commit. The world has turned into a place where women feel compelled to hate men to assure themselves of their own feminism. We constantly hear that women power is triumphant. But what is alarming is that the end of men is seen as victory. Thus, girl empowerment has become synonymous to boy hate. Putting someone else down is never truly empowering.
Thank you so much. I will now request the team who is speaking against the motion to please give their opening statement.
A very good morning to one and all present here. Today, my team and I would like to speak against the motion that girl empowerment has turned into boy hate. Today, we strive to live in a society where each and every individual can perform to their genetic potential. Genetics has never differentiated between male and female capacities. It is the female oppression and the patriarchal society over centuries that has created this culture of male superiority. The sense of entitlement, disproportionate power, and supremacy has been so deeply ingrained into the male's minds that any form of assertion of independence from the woman's end, whether verbal, that is the right to be heard, or speaking up for her own rights, or non-verbal, dressing to her own liking, or even working for financial independence, has been taken as an act of aggression or arrogance. The sideliners are so quick to label those women as intolerant or frustrated, and they are so quick to label them as boy-hating or male-bashing. Women have always been the strong ones in the world, and they do not need a knight but a sword to fight their battles. And it is time that we change the way the world perceives their strength. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And with this, we begin with the rebuttal round, starting with the team who is speaking for the motion.
Malala Yousafzai said, I raise up my voice, not so I can shout, but so that those without a voice can be heard. We cannot all succeed if half of us are held back. The half of society being held back right now are our boys. For about a decade, feminism has been on its fourth wave of rising. Mothers have started parenting their daughters differently with the aim to empower them. These mothers caused the market to flip from almost exclusively pink and fluffy skirts and frocks to tops and shorts emblazoned with battle cries like the future is female or I'm a feminist because I'm not an idiot. Now, I'm not suggesting that feminism should stop. All I'm asking is why isn't the same movement taking place for boys? Girls are being given more supportive and open environments while boys are being effectively siloed. Go to the boys' clothing section and you'll find exclusively blacks and blues with athletic Minecraft or Fortnite graphics. We are fighting to create a you can be anything message for girls. But what about boys? In empowering our girls, we are disempowering our boys.
As my opponent mentioned that this feminism has been turning into boy hate, I would like to differ on that. I would like to say giving a woman a right to express a viewpoint in discussion about home loans is not hitting on men. Giving a woman right to equal access to healthcare or equal access to helplines is not hitting on men. Giving a woman a right to keep or change her surname before or after marriage is not hitting on men. Giving a woman a right to dress and roam as per her will is not hitting on men. The fact you made about the shops having a particular section of men that have designed for Fortnite and graphics, that is not true. If you look up online, another statement that feminists are trying to make is that clothes have no gender. Anyone has a right to be comfort as long as they're comfortable and as long that clothing suits them, they're allowed to. The purpose of feminism has always been that. And for a person and for everyone to say that this has become very, and this does not mean that we are trying to push back one half of the society. We are trying to put an equal stand of both, because let's face it has always been a male dominated society. I am not asked to give water to the guest when they come over. I am not asked to internalize my rage and internalize my emotion to suit the needs of the male. A woman is always asked to sacrifice. That is true, but it is not always the man. And the society has been male dominated since years. And so any attempt at equalizing this cannot be seen as boy hate. Yes, feminists are angry at men because feminists are always are angry at men because they have always been asked to internalize the rage, to push back their emotions for the men of the society. And that is not, and yes, there is a difference between anger and hate. And that's what the point I'm trying to make. Thank you.
My worthy opponent just mentioned that the men have been dominating since a long time. I agree. In the past, men did look down upon feminism, call them ploys to hate men. But that injustice was in the past. It doesn't mean that women have to cling over it now. Now many men are sensitive and supportive of feminist movements. However, women have continued to treat men as oppressive. Instead of appreciating and accepting men's support gracefully, women are still angry and blaming men for the years of patriarchy that exist before. Women may have started enjoying hating men and have no regard for whether the fault actually lies with modern men or not. Many men think that all men are rapists. They tend to keep a distance from the entire male gender, even well-meaning friends. The social divide that this has created can clearly be seen in the society, as instead of merging the two genders in harmony, we are actually splitting them apart and blaming men for it. Men are not taken seriously, but as people who only wish to make sexist jokes.
My worthy opponent, why, may I ask, is a movement about uplifting women misunderstood to such an extent to a point where it is still about men? Women empowerment, my friends, is promoting women's sense of self-worth, their ability to determine their own choice, their right to influence social change, and the right to seek education and demand access to resources, as a human should. When I ask for equal rights, why must you assume that I am asking for special treatment? Starting from Rani Lakshmi Bai to Kiran Bedi to Indira Nooyi to Hillary Clinton to Mother Teresa, Arundhati Roy, Indira Gandhi, Kalpana Chawla, Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, P.T. Usha, Priyanka Chopra, Sudha Murthy, Sarojini Naidu, Shakuntala Devi, Angela Merkel, Oprah Winfrey, Malala Mary Kom, and Ritu Kaidal. To our mothers, to Arja Kakkar, Chahat Verma, Kavya Parekh, Ananya Pandya, Ajanya Shah, we are all examples of women empowerment. And do we hate men? Well, I think not. Women have led to massive breakthroughs in science, technology, army, sports, business, and whatnot. Working females have lifted up the economy. Feminists and females have run the nation. Females have been perfect homemakers, and females have been excellent character-building mothers. Why? Why should this be translated into man hate? A society is formed by two stable pillars. If one of them is weak, it is bound to fall. Then why when I call myself a feminist, am I subjected to infinite eye rolls? Why when I demand for my rights, it hurts their egos? Why do they fear when my voice is raised? Now that is a problem in mindset and not in women empowerment. What all women wish is to live a decent life. And witness today where the quote, behind every successful man is a woman, changes into beside every successful man is a successful woman.
My worthy opponent ranted on about successful women and how feminism is being misinterpreted. We are not against feminism. In fact, we are all for it. That is exactly our point. We want equal rights. We want equal opportunities. But women have no longer targeted that. Instead, they are just hating on men. Let me give you some examples. The entire internet is filled with articles, as my worthy opponents might have noticed while researching, where sensationalist women deny claims that they are not misandrists, as my worthy opponent stated, and then state in the very next line that all men are evil. This is hypocrisy. In an article, a woman unashamedly stated with great self-confidence that all men are obnoxious, arrogant, thoughtless, and many more expletives. A recent piece on Broadly said men are creepy, new study confirms. The actual study found something very different, that both men and women overwhelmingly think that someone described as creepy is more likely to be male. If a study had found out that a negative trait had been associated with women, it would have been called stereotyping, or not a confirmation of reality. Half of the world's population is called such names. How can we ignore that? This is not the way to break down the web of patriarchy, my worthy opponent. This is not.
Ma'am, you mentioned certain articles that are clear examples of misandry. I would like to point out that the part does not represent the whole, even if the part is loud and screaming. And first of all, you said modern men. You saying all men are rapists is wrong. Yes, I agree. Calling every single man on this planet a rapist, calling me a rapist is exceptionally wrong. But there are enough women in the world who have been oppressed by men. It is clear that if you call someone creepy, it is more likely that it is a man. And that is a fact. Because 4 lakh men in the year 2019 violated the basic rights of women's safety. Almost 40 lakh crimes were reported in India under the Violence Against Women. And you are saying that, and yes, I agree, all men are rapists is not, but most rapists are men. That is a factually correct statement. And let me tell you, even if we agree with the statement that women hate men, it is very, 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 very unlikely that a woman will resort to violent means to prove her hatred. A man will do a lot of things if he hates a woman. He can assault her, he can objectify her, he can harass her, he can rape her, he can even kill her. But when a woman hates a man, there have been very, very, very less examples. Like writing articles is different than actually raping a person, isn't it? And yes, I agree that there are certain feminists, there are certain women empowerment activists that do hate men and do not want men to exist. But that does not represent the entire impact of feminism. The entire impact of feminism has been positive towards the entire community in the entire world. And you labeling a certain feminist as misandrist is correct, but to label the entire movement as a movement against men is completely illogical and nonsensical. Thank you.
My worthy opponent, just think back at what you said. You, being a man yourself, hate men. You also mentioned that clothes have no gender. It's cool if a girl wears jeans, but can you even imagine going out in a pink frilly skirt? Why? You won't, will you? You said clothes have no gender. Why? The US Department for Education, on the other hand, surveyed and found that in 2019, women comprised more than 56% of students on campus. What kind of equality is this? What facade are we putting up in front of the world? I understand that we want to tip the scales of equality equally in favor of women, but we don't have to tip them overtly against the favor of men. Why in school teachers always ask for a strong boy, a couple of strong boys to lift anything? Can't girls be strong? Can't boys be weak? Me as a girl, I can be a fashion designer, professional karate player, a dancer, maybe a veterinarian, and my parents would completely support me. But if I'm a boy and I ask my parents to be a fashion designer or a dancer, can you imagine their reactions? Now I'm a girl and I have blue walls in my room, and that's completely cool. But if I were a boy and I had pink walls in my room, wouldn't I be discriminated against? The worst words you can say to a boy are "be a man." If girls can be anything, why can't boys? Why are we putting boys on their knees just so girls can step up? If only you stand for the equality of both boys and girls, then you are a true feminist.
I would just like to reply to my worthy opponent that female empowerment has never been and will never be about glorifying women by stepping on men. The movement was not launched to prosecute men at every opportunity that emerges. Any prosecution that ensues is not out of a premeditated will to malign the male community, but a pressing, urgent need to fight back against violence and oppression. I would like to take gender-based crimes, gender-based violence as an example. Crimes such as rape, sexual harassment, domestic abuse are majorly committed on women by men. Now, I am in no way trying to diminish the gravity of the commission of such crimes on men, but I'm simply trying to highlight that on a comparative scale, it is the women who have been more systematically and consistently subjected to violations by the males. And today, females, yes, as my colleague just said, there are feminists who are hating on men. That is a gray area. Just because they are abusing their rights, does that mean that you do not want to give those very rights to millions of women out there who have been involved in human trafficking, who have been raped, but not have been served the justice that they deserve? And also we will never be are facing the same atrocities, and female hate men, but that is where it ends most of the time, because we have to agree that it is the female who is clutching on their lives at night when they are walking alone.
My worthy opponent just talked about mostly a man raping a woman. Well, I would like to say that may be true, but Indian society always laughs on a man when he says that he has been raped or been sexually harassed by a woman. Indian feminists and society think that only men are practicing heinous crimes like rape, and they don't even get that women can rape. This is so disgusting. Owing to such a psyche, there are no laws for men who are survivors of rape. What level of boy hate have we reached that there is no protection for the men? Paul Hermange has written an entire book called I Hate Men. She has said that she distrusts all men who she doesn't even know, and that anger towards men is in fact a joyful part when it is allowed to express itself. She defends misandry by stating that she enjoys it and that women should have the right of not liking men. When modern people of the 21st century propagate such behavior, encouraging feelings of hatred towards men, I wonder to what levels of sadism women are stooping to.
Ma'am, you were mentioning misandry as if misogyny or female hate doesn't exist. We live in a patriarchal world, not a matriarch. FYI, ma'am, for your information, Chahat ma'am here mentioned what kind of inequality is this. I'd like to elaborate on that. Okay. In 46 countries across the world, there are no laws against domestic violence. In Guinea and Cameroon, a man decides where a female works. Female genital mutilation is still legal in Africa, where 200 million girls have been subject to this. In courts of Israel and certain other countries, a woman's testimony is considered more than a male's. In Israel and many other countries, divorce was only the right of the males. Triple talaq has still been active in many Islam practicing countries. In Russia, women are not allowed to do unhealthy trading and other 456 types of works. In China, women are not allowed to work in mines. In many other states, in India itself, the inheritance law, male inherited more than a female. These are the laws against females in the country. Moving on, man, there are 33% females in the world who have been subject to any kind of an assault by their own counterparts. Do you call this equality, ma'am? I think not. And when you mention about not all men, let me tell you, we live in a patriarchal world where females have been oppressed since time immemorial. We have not yet achieved equality. The day when we'll achieve equality will be a day when neither a man nor a female will need to protest for their rights. That is equality.
My worthy opponent stated so many statistics. I would like to repeat again. We are not denying that women are facing inequality. But what you are saying, you are actually justifying man hate. Are we here to talk about why women should hate men? Or are we here to talk about why women are hating men? My worthy opponent talks of men as people who need to alter themselves, people who are oppressive and chauvinistic. However, instead of offering concrete strategies for young men to face issues of patriarchy, we shake slogans into their faces, arguing passionately why men are equivalent to animals. Women target men by giving flimsy arguments, such as men have done things to be recipients of hatred. Men who are chivalrous to ensure women's safety face backlash.
Ma'am, women argue, men rape.
I would request to please let the opponent continue. I'm sorry, the time is already up for the rebuttal. I would now request the team who is speaking for the motion to please give their closing statement.
On behalf of my team, I conclude by quoting Frida Pinto. Gender equality is a human right, not a female right. It's okay if a girl gets a toy car, but why do we hate the idea of a boy playing with a Barbie doll? Why do we say man up when someone cries? Don't men cry? Can't men cry? Shouldn't men cry? If you're a girl and you act like a boy, it's okay, it's accepted, it's cool. But if you're a boy who acts like a girl, it's different, it's not tolerated. There's one last thing I would also ask my dear opponents. Look back on the right to inheritance law. The daughters and sons get the same amount of property. This is promotion of toxic masculinity. Shakespeare gave his views against this in his play Macbeth. I quote, I dare do all that will become a man. Who dares do more is none. Wouldst thou have that which thou esteem the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem? 'Tis marvelous to have a giant's strength, but tyrannous to use it like a giant. Yes, women must be strengthened and they are being strengthened, but men should not have to be put down. In misinterpreting gender equality, we are inadvertently creating a generation of boys that will resent all promises of future power thrust upon their sisters. With that thought, I rest my case.
Thank you so much. I will now request the team speaking against the motion to please give their closing statement.
A patriarchal society has neither been proved beneficial to women who were treated as the inferior gender, nor the men who were supposed to be strong, masculine, and emotionally closed. Both men and women should be free to be sensitive, and both men and women should be free to be strong. I'll quote Michelle Obama here: no country can ever truly flourish if it stifles the potential of its women and deprive itself of the contribution of half of its citizens. Empowering women should not be equaled and misunderstood with taking away men's rights. A few inaccurate statements by ignorant women must not cover the impact brought out by millions of women in the country who have been empowered. Strong men don't need to put down women to make themselves feel powerful. Women will remain hidden no more. It was a woman who gave birth to you, a woman who gave birth to Martin Luther King, and a woman who gave you Jesus. Why then do you not want us to be empowered? It beats me. When you're asked from your counterpart, who will stay at home to watch the kids? The answer is, whichever parent is free. Wanting this is not an attack on men. If my strength intimidates you, it's a weakness of yours, not mine. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And with this, we come to the end of debate of the finals. What a wonderful debate, I must say. You all have truly made this debate worth watching, setting a great example for the further debate competitions to come. I must say this was the kind of finals we all were waiting for. I would now request our judges to please give their closing remarks on to our debaters. Starting with Shishir sir.
The speed at which arguments were coming in, the rebuttals were coming in, the responses and counter responses were coming in. Maybe I realized that, I'm past this age to even respond. It was almost like a football match in the World Cup football finals. The pace at which fantastic rebuttals were coming in. And I would have to keep going back to the score sheet to say, I think I need to change my score here. And I think I need to change my score there. Because each of you excel in each and every bit of opportunity that you all got. And it wasn't about only speech. There are people who speak, which is, as one says, talking heads. But there was so much of substance to everything that you were talking about. None of these, in my case, there were times when we would say prepared speeches. I'm sure there was data that you had on hand, but every counter argument was linked to the previous statement, which was rebutted. So there was a sense of coherence and linkage to what each one of you was talking to and talking about, which made sense. For somebody who's completely on the fence, the task was so difficult because for the first 1 minute, I was on this side, completely in favor of the motion. And in the second minute, I was completely against the motion. And then again, I was on this side. And now my job is I have to put on my sound barrier plugs and say I do not want to look at the faces and the arguments. I need to give my scores, which has to be completely impartial. Fantastic, great learning, and I don't think there's one winner here. You know, all the screens that I've seen, all the voices that I've heard, you are truly a boon for this country. I would say proudly, I would want you all to be torch bearers of every form of opinion that you put your hands on. You are youngsters who inspire, and it's important that this generation, it may sound cliched that yes, you are the next generation and the country has a lot of hope on you. I do not want to burden with you all with that cliche. Live your life, enjoy your life, but believe in empowerment, men or women, either ways. It's important that this country at this point really values and needs democratic voices. And these voices coming from you all would really be cherished. Don't stay silent. We're proud of you, and congratulations once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such amazing words. And I really agree that all 6 of them are truly winners. I will now request Anil sir to please give your remarks to the debaters.
What an amazing session. Actually, it was AK-47. It's very difficult to duck under it. Before one could absorb something, the other one was coming in, and extremely, extremely well articulated by each one of you. But what I would point out, and which I found most remarkable, was that each one of you appeared to be believing in what you were saying. Now, that's very important. Sometimes you say what you got to say because you are in a debate. And I did that a lot because I had to speak for the motion. I spoke for the motion, whether I believed it or not. I don't know whether you all believe in what you said, but at least you appear to believe in what you're saying. And that's very important. You carry a lot more conviction if you believe in what you're saying. And that conviction in your speeches came through. Absolutely amazing. But what was equally good was the spontaneity with which it came. You know, as Mr. Joshi also pointed out, except for the initial remarks where I thought you probably would have known what to say. But when it came to rebuttals and all, it was very spontaneous. And I would single out 2 of you. I would not want to name them, but 2 of you were so spontaneous in your response. I like this spontaneity, and I think it was extremely difficult to judge the 2 teams. You know, I shudder at the thought of deciding this is better than the other. But that spontaneity, I think, clinched it. Because each one of you were articulate. You know, I can't differentiate while I was marking. How do I give one less the other? Probably the only differentiator was the spontaneity in a couple of speakers who belong to a particular team. They may not have been the best articulate persons. In fact, one of them fumbled in between. Didn't really matter because that also was very spontaneous. It appeared that you are naturally trying to meet an argument that came from the other side. I think that will really help. So 2 things to my mind are important. One is the conviction with which you say, which is that if you have a belief in what you're saying, it will come through in a very convincing manner. Conviction will come through. And second is the spontaneity. So you're not recalling something. It comes naturally to you and it's coming out. So these were the differentiators. You know, otherwise, I have given equal marks to everyone. There is no column here for spontaneity. There's no column here for reflection of conviction. So I built it in the marks that I've given. That is the only differentiator between all 6. Those 2 persons who were spontaneous, to my mind, marginally marched ahead of others. Otherwise, I would have said, I'm not going to judge it. Both are equally well. You give it or take it, give it to both of them. Given a choice, I would still want all 6 of you to be awarded. But then someone has to be chosen as a winner. So maybe I will choose one team better than the other. But it's no reflection of the quality of speeches that were made. Absolutely amazing stuff. God bless all of you. You have a bright future ahead of you, but live with your convictions. I keep saying that because I have seen a lot of it. People speak very well, very spontaneous, very fluent. Get up is very good. Conviction is missing. Because if you don't speak with conviction, you might come to grief at some point in time. It's your convictions that keep you going. Because you will come across many failures, many opponents. But if you have that conviction, we wade through those troubled waters, and there are many troubled waters as you go along. So, but I was flabbergasted. I was amazed at the quality that has come out. I'm so glad that I'm here, and I enjoyed being here. Though, of course, in the beginning, I'm an old man, finding it difficult to absorb what was going on. Rat, tat, 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 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. It was difficult, but as they say, you get used to it. You know, by second, third speaker, I got used to absorbing what you're saying. But God bless all of you.
Thank you so much for such beautiful insights. I would now request Raghav sir to
If I could just butt in here for a moment. Youngsters, don't give up this skill that you have. As has been shared, you'll have a fantastic skill, the ability to absorb and to share an opinion with such great speed. You might, in a few years, start getting into the corporate world or start doing different jobs. Don't lose this ability that you'll have of voicing your thoughts and speaking out freely and frankly, and as has been shared by Mr. Swarup, with great conviction. We need that conviction of yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm sure, like, with such beautiful words from both the judges, I have been really inspiring for all the participants. And now I would request Raghav sir to please address our finalists on their amazing performance.
Yeah, wonderful debate. Of course, watching all of you since the last 5 or 6 days, I have grown more affectionate to all of you, even though you all don't come from my schools. And watching from the outside is far more nerve-wracking than when you're in the rink and debating. So for me, it was quite nervous to watch which team is doing what, because I love all of you. But what I want to leave you with is that understand that you also have a role and responsibility to the hundreds of children who are looking up to you already from your schools, and the ones who are going to look up to you as you all are finalists and perhaps winners of this debate competition. So you're going to have a lot of students in the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th standards who are going to be looking up to you as role models, and you have to be responsible role models. So the passion with which you all speak, the conviction and belief with which you all speak is very, very good. But use those skills, leverage those skills in the right places. As Shishir ji also said, that y'all can make a difference. Don't lose this talent of yours. Y'all are at that age where soon y'all will go to your 11th, 12th, and then to your college years. Don't let those years, your end of your teenage years, in which things are in college are, hanging around with friends and all. Of course, do that, enjoy that. But don't lose this. Utilize your talents to make a difference in this world. We need more of you. All the best.
Thank you so much, sir, for such motivating words. And with this, we conclude the finals of the National Inter-School Debate Competition. I'm sure we're all waiting for the results. Everyone, they have their fingers crossed. Yes, but for that, we'll have to wait a little more, and we'll be now meeting at 1:30 for the results. Before we sign off, I would once again thank Anil sir and Shishir sir for being with us today and giving such beautiful insights to our participants, and I'm sure to all the entire audience that we have here. Thank you so much, sir, once again. Have a great day, and participants, all the very best. We'll see you at 1:30.